Hey y'all, we are going to do linear functions and slope. I went ahead and wrote the definition for our slope, did the formula, and then identified a few parts of the formula. Our slope is a vertical and horizontal change between two distinct points on a line. And then in the blue, our formula is m equals, this is the difference between the y values. It is y sub 2 minus y sub 1, and this is over the difference in our x values, which would be x sub 2 minus x sub 1. And so our m is our slope, and then our x sub 1 and y sub 1, that's coordinates of our first point, and then we also have coordinates of our second point. Okay. So first, let's go over the different types of slopes, and then we'll actually do an example finding slopes. So our different types of slopes. If we have an xy axis and we have a line drawn similar to this, we would say that this line has a slope that's rising from left to right. Therefore, it would be increasing, and so it would be positive. So we have positive, increase, and rising. If we have something that looks like this, reading it from left to right the same way you would a book, we would notice that this is actually decreasing. It's falling from left to right. And so this would be said to have a negative slope. And it is decreasing. And it is falling. Okay, say we have something that looks like this. So this line is actually parallel with our x-axis. It is a horizontal line. It does not increase and it does not decrease. So this would be said to have a slope of 0. No increase. And no decrease. And it is a horizontal line. Okay. Don't know how to move. Don't know what that is. Let's see. Okay, I have enough room to at least do my other one. Say we have our x and y axis, and we have a line that looks similar to this. That would be a vertical line that is parallel to the y-axis. It is also very similar to the 0 slope because it doesn't look like our positive and our negative. This one does not move left or right. as far as our negative falls from the left to the right and our positive rises from the left to the right. This one, what we say is that it's undefined. And we also will say that it is vertical. Okay, so I want to actually do some examples with finding the slope. And I like that I can create a new one and maybe I can recall that one in case we need it. Okay, so let's do some examples. Finding slope. Say we're asked to find the slope of these two given points. Our points are 9, 5 and 4, 5. First step, identify your first point and its x and y coordinates, and then your second point and its x and y coordinates. These will have a subscript. One point, both of your x and y's will have a 1 subscript, and then for your second point, it'll be a 2. So y sub 1, and we have a y sub 2, and also for our x's. So I know that I learned the formula. M is our slope, and the way we find slope is to plug it into our formula. And so if I do that, what I get for my y sub 2 is 5, and then minus y sub 1, which is 5, over x sub 2 is 4, minus or subtract from that a 9, and then if you do the top, those are inverses, you get 0. 4 minus 9, signs are different, so you subtract, keep the sign of the larger, and any time you divide 0 by anything, 0 divided by anything, you will always get 0. And so this is saying that I have a horizontal line with a 0 slope. Okay, say we have negative 6, 6, and we also have negative 9, 3, and it wants us to find our slope. So I'm going to look right here. I know that I'm going to need my y's and my x's labeled. So x, y, 1, 1, x, y, 2, 2. And then let's go ahead and solve. If we plug in our y sub 2, I get 3. The formula says to subtract my y sub 1, which is 6, over x sub 2, which is a negative 9, minus x sub 1, which is a negative 6, being sure to put those in parentheses if you need to. And then in the numerator, we have 3 minus 6. Signs are different, so you subtract and keep the sign of the larger. And then in the denominator, we have a negative 9, and then we have this minus, parenthesis minus, or negative, parenthesis negative. I've always said it kind of looks like a little smiley face, and when you're smiling, you're positive, you're happy, so it's a positive. You could also just think of it as negative times a negative. You get a positive. Then if you evaluate this even further, we would have 9 and 6 combined together. Those signs are different, so we subtract. Keep the sign of the larger. And if you do 3 divided by 3, you get 1. Those signs are the same, so it's positive. And this is telling me that my slope is a positive slope, which means that it rises from the left and the right. Okay, so let's do another one. Say we have -6, 3, and we're given the point 6, 5. The problem would probably say something as far as given these 2 points, use the slope formula to find the slope of this. I mean, it'd probably be wordy. What we need are our 2 points because our slope formula needs to do the difference of our y values and the difference of our x values. The subscripts 1 and 2 are telling us that there are actually 2 points. So that's why we need to know 2 points in order to do this. Now, if I plug in my points, if I do, let's label these xy 1, 1, xy 2, 2, plug them in, I get -5 minus 3 over 6 minus 6 equals -5, -3, signs are the same, add and keep, over 6 and -6 are inverses, actually gives me 0. And we know that we can't divide by 0. When you do, it causes something to be undefined. And we had a slope for undefined. Oops. It was a vertical line. And it was undefined. So our slope would be our function would be a vertical line, and it's undefined, so there is no slope. Okay. So that was it for finding slopes. Let me know if y'all have any questions.